Hello, people of YouTube. This is Financially Ruined. I am Steve Gray, your host. Thank you for watching. Are garage sales worth it still? Shopping at garage sales. We're going to be talking about garage sales in general because it's garage sale season, and I actually picked this up at a garage sale. Now, keep in mind, I did clean this. I had to change the strings, tune it, adjust the truss rod, adjust the saddles. It wasn't, ready to go, if you will. But for the price point I got it at, doesn't matter. If I go to sell this, I can guarantee you I will make money on it. If I don't, I would be highly surprised. So, is it worth it? You go to a garage sale, you see a bunch of stuff. Some of it just looks like kitty crap. Some of it looks cool. Sometimes you find a guitar. What's nice is people will post to them now because they want you to go to the garage sale and buy their stuff. So they will post them on things like Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. And then you have an exact address. They give you a description of generally what they're selling, and then you just go and do it. This one just said guitars. Unfortunately, someone beat me there. I got there first thing when they opened. Sometimes they will specify no early birds, which means do not show up earlier than the time they are saying because they're probably still setting stuff up. If you do, you might make them angry. You never know. So I showed up at exactly 8 a.m., and someone already took 3 of the 4 guitars. This was what was left, and I made them an offer. They asked for $5 more. I said sure, and then I walked away with the guitar and checked out some other garage sales. The other thing I bought is one of those extendable hoses, so it kind of shrinks. When it's filled with water, it goes to 75 feet or whatever it said on the box, and then when there's no water, it shrinks up. You don't have to worry about rolling it up and all that stuff. They break very easily, unfortunately. I have there's a stone driveway where I am, so if it catches on that, it will puncture it, unfortunately. But for $5, when retail they're like 20, 30 bucks, whatever they are, kind of a no-brainer. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for things that are very well priced. And you're not looking for things that are retail prices. That's kind of the whole deal with garage sales. Now, if you are at a reseller's garage sale, I'll show you what to look for. These are places you don't typically want to shop. So, a reseller's garage sale, you will have, it could be anything. It could be expensive guitars. I've, put out expensive guitars at garage sales. They don't typically sell, but I have done that. And they'll have a price tag on them. Almost everything you see will have a price tag on it, and if you look it up online, it'll be either retail or within $5 of retail, sometimes more than retail. You never know if they're not looking at the sold listings and they're looking at just the regular listings. That's what you're looking at. So that is something to be on the lookout for. If every individual item has a price tag on it, doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to find a decent deal. They might haggle with you a little bit, but typically that means the person knows exactly what they have, they know exactly what everything's worth, and they're probably not going to haggle with you. There is a good chance that they will be like, nope, it says $5 on it, I will not take $4, I will not take $2. And I ran into that. I went to this one place, this guy had a huge amount of stuff. And he probably bought it. They're called bargain stores or something like that, where they buy or return stores. They buy a pallet of returns, and then they sell the items for $10 a piece or something. I have a couple of them locally. One's pretty close. One's a little bit farther away. But that's what it looked like this guy had. He had just a kind of cat scratching board thing that I was like, well, maybe he'll take $5 for it. I didn't realize it had a $15 sticker on it. But in retrospect, he did come down. I didn't have more than $5 in my wallet after I bought the guitar, and I wanted to save some of my money, because I was going to other garage sales. You never know what you're going to find. Figure out how much you want to spend, maybe bring a couple $100 with you, maybe only bring $50 with you. Ultimately determine how much money you're willing to spend on stuff, bring that with you, and then don't get more money out. Or, worst case, you find something expensive, like a really nice guitar that's a good price. Let's say you found a $1,000 guitar for $500. Be like, hey, can I give you $50 deposit, write me a receipt, and I'll come back in a little bit with the rest of the money. There's nothing wrong with doing that. I've done that myself in the past as well. But he did not want to haggle off of the $7, and I guess he didn't want to sell it to me for $5, so it is what it is. I put it back and moved on. He had 5 of them. That's why I offered $5. He had 5 of them, and yes, they were new, but they were all open box You know, all the boxes were beat up anyway, had rain on them or something. And I was like, yeah, I'm not, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. So I left, is what it is. If you see something like video games, I hate to tell you, resellers love video games. And those are things at my garage sale that I will price at retail prices, at eBay prices, because resellers will come in there, they'll grab a stack of games and be like, hey, you want $5 for it? And it's like 20 games, and then you're like $5 a piece, and then they try to gripe about it. So that's one thing, is video games. I always look them up and know what they are. Same with guitars, guitars. I always see what they're valued at before I sell them. Something like this, I would sell at a garage sale for probably, since I did the work, set it up, cleaned it up, made it look pretty, probably $100 I'd want for this. And I don't think that's unreasonable for a garage sale price, because I've seen one of these on Guitar Center for $180. So, yeah, but that's what it is. You want to avoid things. Coat racks. If there is a whole bunch of clothing racks everywhere, that's probably a reseller too. There's a good chance there's a reseller. You don't want to go to a reseller's garage sale, because then you're paying eBay prices, and the idea is to not pay eBay prices. What you want to look for is no prices on anything. You want to show up there, you want to see just everything is kind of generally unorganized. You have to dig through stuff, and they tell you to make them an offer. Because if you're digging through toys or clothes and you say, hey, will you take $2 for this? They're going to say yes 9 out of 10 times. They might say, how about $3? And then who cares? An extra dollar for a t-shirt or something? Big whoop-de-doo. But I found one of those. And, everything was a little bit dirty. That is something, too. You got to be willing to put in the work at garage sales, because you're going to have to wash the clothes 9 out of 10 or get them dry cleaned, depending on what the tag says. Something like guitars. A lot of the times at garage sales, I find these cheaper guitars for good prices, but at the same time, I have to do the work to them. I got to put new strings on them. I got to set it up, make the thing playable, go through the electronics, make sure everything is working correctly, because I don't want to sell it broken. And you're taking a gamble sometimes, but when the price is as low as it is, then you're fine. If it's something like a Gibson Les Paul, for those of you that, I do have a guitar channel, that's why I keep referencing guitar, so sorry for all of the guitar references in this video. A Gibson Les Paul is like a minimum $2,000. Yeah. You're not typically going to find one of those at a garage sale. And if you do, the person's going to want $2,000 for it. They know what it is. They know what it's worth. And that's kind of what you're looking to avoid. Records. People love collecting records. If there's no price tags on anything, you can probably get them for a couple bucks. If you're willing to buy an entire box of records, no matter what's in there, because you want one record in it, and maybe you can sell the rest of those records and make your money back, then they'll usually work with you. Because I've done that before. I bought literally an entire crate, what's it called, a milk crate, full of records for like $8. And there was only one record I wanted in the entire thing, and I sold the rest of them, and I think I tripled my money. So, to a certain extent, I am a little bit of a reseller, but I'm not doing it on a mass scale. I'm selling a couple of things on Facebook Marketplace here and there. Pretty much everything I sell on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist are things that I've used. Like this guitar, I will play it for a while before I decide whether or not I want to sell it. I will make a YouTube video of it as well. Video games, I don't like paying full price for video games. So if you find reasonably priced video games at a garage sale, I'll play them, beat them, and then I will sell them. Because honestly, after I beat the game, I'm probably never going to play the thing again. Unless it's something where, it's like a multiplayer thing and you can play it with other people. That's a little bit different if it's like a streamlined storyline. I beat it, I'm done with it. I'm trying to think. Toys you can get for dirt cheap. Why would you spend $15 on a Star Wars toy brand new when you can go to a yard sale and get like 50 of them for $15? Clean them up, bring them home, fill your sink up with soapy water, let them sit for a couple hours, rinse them off. There you go, good to go. Toys or something, that's something I don't put a price on. If I have a garage sale, I have a couple of boxes of old toys from my childhood. I just throw them out there, let people pick through them. They say, take $1 for this, take $2 for this. Yup. If there's something actually fancy in there, I might say $10, but typically toys, I don't see anything over $10 unless it's like an electronic toy. If it's like one of the cars that a toddler can drive in, sure, I can see somebody paying $50 for one of those because those things are like $300 new. But ultimately, make sure it works. That's all it is. Test everything. Ask people to test stuff if they let you. If they don't let you test something, good chance it doesn't work. Let's be honest. Because it's their personal house. They can go get an extension cord. I can guarantee you if you're at a house, they have an extension cord. Almost every person I know that owns a house has some of them. They can give you something to plug into, whether it's a record player, a guitar, a TV. TVs especially, you got to be careful at garage sales. Because I bought a broken TV at a garage sale. Thankfully, I only paid $20 for it, but I was still pretty pissed when I got it back home and there was no sound. So I plugged it in, messed with it, thought it was on mute. Nope, the screen worked. They did not tell me that it had no sound because I wouldn't have bought it if I knew it didn't have sound. Luckily, I found a way to hook it up to a speaker, so not that big of a deal. Clothing, if you know what to look for, you can get name brand stuff for cheap. Shoes, that's the thing, I don't mind buying a used shirt or used pants, but for some reason I do not like buying used shoes. I don't know why it weirds me out. There's really nothing wrong with it. If they look like they're brand new in the box, who cares? I would buy, used shoes or not from the store shoes. But if it looks like there's creases and things and it's definitely been worn, I don't know why. I think a feet fungus or something. So I really want nothing to do with it. But it seems like, we're in an age of technology, ultimately. So you have to expect that the majority of people know what they have. They can look up the price of things. They can put a sticker on it for whatever it recently sold on eBay or, Amazon. And technically, yes, you are getting a deal, even if you are paying that price, because you're not paying shipping and you're not paying taxes. So, maybe you buy a video game for $30. Think about that. You buy a $30 video game. You buy that video game on eBay, add whatever your sales tax is, add $5 for shipping. So you're probably, that $30 game is now a $40 game. So even if you're, to a certain extent, resellers aren't completely terrible, but if everything is that, they won't budge off the price at all. Like if someone is asking $30 for a video game, if I am, for instance, at a garage sale, and someone says, would you take $25 for that? Yes, I'm not going to lose the sale over $5, but the hardcore resellers will not budge. That is where you want to avoid. And ask. That's your best bet, is if you go to a garage sale, you see everything has individual price tags on it. You see a lot of stuff that looks like it's new, like everything is new in box. Those are red flags right there. But what I would do is find something you're interested in and ask. And then if they're super stubborn and they won't budge, just put it back and move on. You don't have to be angry about it. Don't, avoid the confrontation if you can. But that is, I would say that is your best bet, is simply say, okay, I don't want to pay that price for it. Sorry, I'm going to put it back, and then just leave the sale and move on to the next sale. Because usually it's like a town-wide thing, at least where I am. It's almost like every weekend from May to August, there is some sort of garage sale going on in one of the towns. It's not every town all at once, but, like today, it was a village-wide garage sale at a town that's about 30 minutes away. That's where I got the guitar. So, worked out for me. But they are good, especially if you have kids. Cheap toys, there you go. You can get a lot of toys for a couple bucks. Clothing, same thing. Kids grow out of clothes super fast. Just wash them before you wear them. You can get them fairly cheap. Try to avoid resellers. And you'll be good to go. As I said, at a garage sale, my video games, my guitars, unfortunately, they're going to be eBay price. Everything else is that I throw out there that I dug out of the basement, or I should say my parents' basement, because that's where I have the garage sale. Is that I go to my parents' house, and that's where all the toys and stuff are. So I just pull all the toys they've been storing for the last 30 years or so, and throw them out there and try to get rid of everything I can. I've sold microwaves, I've sold mini fridges. So I sold one full-size fridge. It worked, but it was rough. So I have sold a guitar, sold a lot of toys, and just whatever random miscellaneous crap is lying around the house that I want to get rid of. Usually there's a lot more junk at my parents' house that I can sell than there is where I currently am. So that's why I bring it there. And they also have more property to set more stuff up, so that also helps. So there it is. Should you shop at garage sales? Kind of. I'd say, yeah, go for it. If you got nothing to do on your weekend. Gas is getting expensive, though, so that's something to factor in, too. If you're driving around everywhere and you're not getting anything you want, kind of a waste of time. So definitely use the internet, to kind of pre-vet the garage sales. Look on Facebook Marketplace, see if they have items described. If it's just a bunch of old person crap, like fine china and glassware that you don't need, then don't waste your time going to that one. Subscribe, notification bell, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. And as always, have a good one.